I've had relationships with women for 5 or 6 years and they never knew my girl. And I'll just say to them, look, if you know things, even though I don't do anything wrong, but if you know even who I associate with, you know things, then you have to know. Why isn't it easier if you just don't? Then you got life, right? So let's just, I'm work. What's work? Work's work. You're on a jet. You're on a jet. Right? So I keep certain things from them because it makes it easier than them having to worry about a false narrative of life. In the event of whatever, or if we break up, then what, right? So I'm very careful of that. I'm very, very careful who I talk around as well. Like if there's random, like on the yacht, me, Tristan, and my cousin, we were just with 30 girls on the yacht. We didn't talk business. We talked business one night, whatever it was. A couple times, like Luke went to go, hey man, I'll message you. We'll be sitting in the same room, WhatsApp. Keep loose lips, sink ships. Doesn't matter if you're doing nothing wrong. You gotta be careful who you're talking around. They listening to shit. And in the modern world, they record shit. Like you don't want to, even if it's a 0.1% chance, but what's the upside? Like there's no upside. Yeah. So why take the 1% chance? Risk reward. I'm very, very careful. And especially with women, not because they're necessarily malicious, because women in general don't have to worry about the certain things I'm talking about in terms of professionalism. There's a whole bunch of beautiful, smart, great women out there who just go through life and they're just Instagramming everywhere they go and they forgot their keys and do. And if she's too close to your circle, she's just an in to get you. And you gotta be careful. And it's amazing whether it's the 1970s Soviet spies or the 2022 mafia, when they want to get a dude, it's a chick. You either send a new chick or you watch his old chick or you find his girlfriend. Even a bounty hunter today. Let's say I was wanted by the police and they couldn't find him. Who's his girl? But he's gone there. But he needs some sex. Go put a car there. Every time. Every fucking time. You gotta keep this shit in order. And the women I associate with have enough respect for me to go, okay, I don't know. Fine. Just, I love you, love you. When they arrested El Chapo's girl, didn't you say I didn't know he was a criminal? I thought he was a chef or some shit. I'm like, he did perfect. She doesn't even know lie anymore. He's a chef. He told me he's a chef. He's a chef.
He's a billionaire chef.
He's a chef. He's a chef. I don't know. The guy's a chef. So, and it's actually interesting because a lot of men want to brag to women because we want to show status. So you want to sit there and brag about all the good things you do, but there is a downside. There is a degree of downside. I was in Moldova. No, I take that back. I was in Constanta, Romania 9 years ago before I moved there. And I was in a club and I must have been the only foreign person in the club. And there was a 11 out of 10 Moldovan. The most beautiful girl I'd ever seen. And I went over and I tried to talk to her and she said, yeah, I only drink champagne. At the time I didn't have that much money. I said, I only drink champagne. Well, I'm finished drinking tonight. It's very nice to meet you. I couldn't afford a bottle of champagne. I was like, I don't have any. I said, I'll finish drinking for the night. It's very nice to meet you. What's your name? Yes. Left the club, whatever. Next day I came, I saw her on this table, champagne show. Next table, champagne show. And while she was doing all this, we were kind of catching each other's eye, looking a little bit. And a couple times I caught her at lunch, because Santa's like a beach town. I caught her at lunch, I spoke to her a little bit. And she kept asking me for champagne. I was like, listen, you are absolutely gorgeous. I think you and I are gonna have a long and happy future together, but I'm not gonna buy you champagne. Tell you why later. Put mystery on it. So I can't tell you broke, right? I'll put mysteries in it. So I'm gonna tell you why I don't buy champagne later. It's a long and interesting story. Once I can trust you, I'm gonna tell you why I won't buy you champagne. You can trust me now. I will tell you, not yet. Then style it off.
When you're disciplined, focused, and in control, you become a person others want to be around, especially the right kind of woman. Whether it's in your career, fitness, or mindset, becoming the best version of yourself is key.
Anyway, as we got to know each other across the summer, eventually when we became friends, she came clean. She works for the club, she gets commission on champagne. Of course. The girls in the club, you're buying champagne for this thing, she gets commission per bottle. What was interesting is this, she had on her phone a system. So she'd meet you, you buy her drinks the first night. You go a separate date, the second night, you buy her drinks. Third day, she'd send a pre-decide already in her notes how you live far away and she can't fall in love again. She's only been with one man her whole life. She falls in love with you, she's gonna have her heart broken, and she's scared. She'll ghost you for 3 days. Then eventually after begging, you'll get her back. She wants to come, but not on her own because she's scared. She wants to bring 3 friends and she'll go to this restaurant, she wants to drink this shit. Boom, boom. Commission. She'll show me in her Facebook message, every dude, playbook, every fucking guy, one after another, every night of the week, all just fall into the playbook. Because you're the only guy who never bought me champagne. Yeah, well, I didn't tell her I didn't have money, I was just and I was like, I've been around the world, I know some things.
A man with purpose is magnetic. Tate says, when you're dedicated to achieving something, it changes the way you act, the way you speak, and the way you live.
So anyway, I played it off. And she was sitting there telling me, yeah, and this, and when she was going through it, scared to me, she goes, yeah, this guy on Facebook, yeah, he's from Turkey and he does private airplanes and da-da-da-da. And this, she's telling all their jobs, the money they're making, where they live, the town they're, because these dudes are sitting there talking, I'm so rich, baby, I'm so rich, I'm so rich. You want champagne? I want it. I do this, I do this, I do this, I do this. And I'll sit there thinking, whichever boss picks this girl up is going to have a whole bunch of targets to go robbing all night long. Because dudes just can't shut the fuck up. And this is when I was 24, 25. Ever since then, I style it off. What's your job? Oh, I work, it depends where I am. If I'm like in Romania, I say I make papanash, which is a Romanian donut. It's a national food. I say I make papanash. Papanash is like I'm number one. I just style off. None of them know my job. None of them know what I do. None of them know because you don't know. So let me ask you a question. I got a good question.
Yeah.
Because I think the way to simplify this argument, because it's a detailed one, it's a nuanced one. The way to simplify it is this. I think men who are loyal want to be, which is fine. I'm not telling men not to be loyal. If they want to be loyal, right? I think that obviously there's religious implications, like Tam said, and there's certain moral codes people live by that will make them want to be loyal, right? But let's imagine religion's not in the case, and let's imagine that you have a woman who's going to stay with you no matter what. She loves you, she's yours, she's going to stay with you no matter what. And you could sleep with someone else if you wanted to, and she wouldn't even give a shit. Are you telling me for the rest of your human life you wouldn't fuck anyone else ever?
I couldn't answer that. I've yet to.
I would argue the fact, but my basic argument.
But I think if obviously, look, as I said, to be honest, I think if the person can keep you excited long enough, but I think that's probably impossible.
No, it's not about that. My argument is if you were to get every single man and be completely honest with him, he being honest with you and say, listen, this is your wife. She ain't gonna leave you. She ain't gonna get upset. She's gonna stay with you no matter what. Don't worry about that side of it. And you're out with the boys, and you're going to be with this woman for the rest of your life, no matter what. And there's all these hot girls around. Are you going to be loyal forever? The answer, every single man, if he's honest, is I'm gonna end up chasing one of these chicks.
You know,
it's the honest answer.
A lot of people watching this are going to think you're a piece of shit for what you just said, but your honesty needs to be appreciated for the integrity.
No, I get it, man.
Not lying.
Like, no, yeah, like okay, theoretically in that situation, I'm pretty sure even if someone like me said no right now, that if that is the whole truth, it's like telling someone, oh, for example, you just ask them a really like dumb question. Would you punch your mom for $1 billion?
Yeah.
What are you gonna say? Would I punch my mom for $1 billion? Everyone's gonna say no, because that's not a real thing that's gonna happen. No one's gonna come give you $1 billion to do that anyways.
I understand.
So obviously, in that situation, I get it. I'm probably gonna say no right now because that's never gonna be an option for me. But the truth, like the underlying truth,
there are certain men in the world
that have that option.
Who can get a woman who's never gonna leave them because there's nowhere else to go.
Yeah.
They only want to go up, and you're at the tip top, and they're never gonna leave.
A desperate man accepts what he can get, while a man with confidence waits for what he deserves. If you're waiting for the right woman, don't fall into the trap of accepting less than what you truly need or want.
Yeah,
And they're gonna
I'll say, realistically, this question is, you probably would, yeah. Like,
It comes down to us again. When they settle with certain guys they're married, they know what comes with the baggage.
yeah,
They know specifically what comes. When a woman gets with Mike Tyson or
yeah, of course, they know these guys are not
one of these rappers or Drake, they know. So that's part of the game. They're not going to go, he did that. Everyone will be like, what do you mean? Like, then girlfriends will laugh. So that's his point. They know, and these kind of guys, that's their life. You want to be a part of that, you've got to understand this baggage will come. He might travel for 4 months. He might say this. That's part of the game.
If you buy a Nissan, you buy it for reliability. If you buy a McLaren, you buy it for speed. You do not buy a McLaren and then be offended and upset that it doesn't want to start.
No,
That's the game.
And Tate, you're a very successful person because you make a decision, right? There's no other.
I'd agree, yeah.
Whether it's fighting, whether it's whatever, there's a part of me inside that hopes that in the future you maybe go against your word and there's one woman, the Wahid. Does that mean the one?
I think there will be.
Let's think.
We don't know. We don't know there was. No, the point is this is very important for everyone watching at home. If I had one woman I was completely in love with, if I had children, if I had a happy marriage, the last thing I would do is advertise it to the feral psychopaths on the internet. So I want everyone to understand here that I could be married right now with children, and I would never ever sit here on the internet and say it. I will also understand that I'm a certain age, but I'm telling you now, and I will say this as an objective fact. If you take a 23-year-old who's completely in love with his woman, but she ain't gonna leave, and he's in Ibiza with his boys for a week, and he's surrounded by girls, we all know what he's gonna fucking do. Anyone who pretends he won't is a liar.
Yeah,
is a liar.
I think at that point they haven't experienced life enough, so they're
It's
gonna
not,
want.
bro, you can be 60, you can experience, you still do it. Our dads would do it, bro. Let's not lie.
And if you also know the true baseline, I used to talk about this a lot. I don't talk about it anymore. But I talk about how I used to run a webcam business, right?
Yeah.
So I had a bunch of girls work for me. People go, well, how do you know this? I sat for 5 years making millions of dollars watching married men send millions of dollars to single young Ukrainian chicks. Every man who's married, every man who's Very few are as loyal as you believe. I'm telling you, you get the loyal men of Earth, a few are. 2%, 3%, 97% are either wishing they could do something and can't, or trying to do something and they can't, or doing something.
What was
That's
the
the
website?
harsh reality.
Was it Ashley Madison? There was a website for married people that wanted to hook up. So I think it was in America. I might have butchered the name. So you went on there and you knew they would be kind of low key because you're married and they're married. So then they'd go on dates where they would sit in the corner and they would kind of scoot off together because neither of them could get caught. They both had skin in the game. I think Anonymous hacked them and leaked their names to everyone. So like the fact, and it was kind of disgusting at the time that, you know, we have this narrative of family life. And again, my mum and dad were each other's first girlfriend and boyfriend. They're still together now. So like when I see that,
Oh, that's beautiful, but that's gone.
That's the point.
I
That's
think
generation.
social
I
media is a
agree.
big reason for
That, like we said earlier, that your mother, these queens, and my was queen, and my daughters will be queens. But it comes from you have to have our way of thinking. This society, you have to have that kind of strong leadership in the house. Otherwise, that's gone. That generation, unfortunately, I see it. I feel sorry for the young guys. And I feel sorry for the young women.
According to Tate, one way to build confidence is by constantly challenging yourself and stepping out of your comfort zone. Confidence isn't something you're born with. It's earned by facing challenges and overcoming obstacles.
It's gone. They can't find partners because everyone's out there for a benefit or a social media post.
Now, for the people who are going to be offended by all the things I said and say I'm horrible, right? Because I understand that some of the things I said are going to be offensive to others. You also have to understand what you just said about first woman, first man together forever. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's the ideal scenario, but it's gone. The reason your mother was probably such a fantastic partner to your father is because she respected her dad, and then she got passed to your father, and then she respected your father, and they're together, right? There was masculine role models. All that's vanished. So when people sit and say, when I say things like, yeah, a man can have different girls, or we can have different girlfriends, etc., and people say, oh, you're misogynistic. I'm giving the best advice I possibly know to men, because I'm telling you, if you're a man out here who's not going to mess around with girls, not get any experience with women, not get experience with how they work, find one girl and instantly fall in love with her, guess what's going to happen? You're going to get fucking wrecked. You are. The man who just meets a chick, has no experience with girls, isn't really good at getting new ones, they're the ones who end up sitting lonely at 42 divorced by them fucking selves. Every single one of them. The only chance you have as a man now is being versed enough in the game and having enough experience with women to not get played. These women are sharks, G. You gotta be careful. I'm saying these things.
Oh, he's right.
You can't be a man with no experience out here and just meeting your first chick and falling in love. Because 99% of the time, it's gonna go wrong for the man.
How was your first love? I feel like you got your heart broken. You said that, right, once?
No, everyone said they're heartbroken. It's not about
Yeah, no, definitely.
everyone said they're heartbroken, bro.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not about that. I'm saying that when men come along and ask for relationship advice to me,
Yeah.
I'm like, if you want to be good at something, you need experience. BJJ, driving, keeping a woman happy. I can keep a woman happier than anyone because I've had a bunch of women. If I didn't have a bunch of women, I don't think I could keep a woman happy the same. I really don't believe that. If you even ask, I'll argue something else. I don't know if this is true or not. If you ask a man if he wants a virgin, he'll say yes. If you ask a woman if she wants a virgin man, no. She'll be like, no. I ask her, would she?
Honestly, in the West, I think you're right.
She wouldn't want a virgin man. They want that with experience. They want older man. So if you're going to be a man and say, for the sake of love, I want to forego all of my own experiences and be less competent in the battlefield, that's fine. But I'm telling you that you're putting yourself at risk. I think the best chance a man has now in the Western world is to date, have a bunch of girls, date a bunch of girls, beat a bunch of girls, find the best one he can, and then perhaps settle down. But to sit and say, oh, I've met one now, I'm going to stop the game, you're going to get in trouble. That's why all these men end up in trouble. For the people who are going to be offended by all the things I said and say I'm horrible, right? Because I understand that some of the things I said are going to be offensive to others. You also have to understand what you just said about first woman, first man together forever. That's beautiful. Yeah. That's the ideal scenario, but it's gone. The reason your mother was probably such a fantastic partner to your father is because she respected her dad, and then she got passed to your father, and then she respected your father, and they're together, right? There was masculine role models. All that's vanished. So when people sit and say, when I say things like, yeah, a man could have different girls, or we can have different girlfriends, etc., and people say, oh, you're misogynistic. I'm giving the best advice I possibly know to men, because I'm telling you, if you're a man out here who's not going to mess around with girls, not get any experience with women, not get experience with how they work, find one girl and instantly fall in love with her, guess what's going to happen? You're going to get fucking wrecked. You are. The man who just meets a chick, has no experience with girls, isn't really good at getting new ones, they're the ones who end up sitting lonely at 42 divorced by them fucking selves. Every single one of them. The only chance you have as a man now is being versed enough in the game and having enough experience with women to not get played. These women are sharks, G. You gotta be careful. I'm saying these things.
Oh, he's right.
You can't be a man with no experience out here and just meeting your first chick and falling in love, because 99% of the time it's going to go wrong for the man.
How was your first love? I feel like you got your heart broken. You said that, right, once?
No, everyone said they're heartbroken. It's not about
Yeah, no, definitely.
everyone said they're heartbroken, bro.
Definitely.
It's not about that. I'm saying that when men come along and ask for relationship advice to me, I'm like, if you want to be good at something, you need experience.
Patience is key because the right person will come at the right time. So instead of rushing into relationships, Tate encourages focusing on self-development. He believes that with patience, the right partner will come when you're truly ready and aligned with your goals.
BJJ, driving, keeping a woman happy. I can keep a woman happier than anyone because I've had a bunch of women. If I didn't have a bunch of women, I don't think I'd keep a woman happy the same. I really don't believe that. If you even ask, I'll argue something else. I don't know if this is true or not. If you ask a man if he wants a virgin, he'll say yes. If you ask a woman if she wants a virgin man, no. She'll be like, no. I ask her, would she?
Honestly, in the West, I think you're right.
She wouldn't want a virgin man. They want experience. They want older man. So if you're going to be a man and say, for the sake of love, I want to forego all of my own experiences and be less competent in the battlefield, that's fine. But I'm telling you that you're putting yourself at risk. I think the best chance a man has now in the Western world is to date, have a bunch of girls, date a bunch of girls, beat a bunch of girls, find the best one he can, and then perhaps settle down. But to sit and say, oh, I've met one now, I'm going to stop the game, you're going to get in trouble. That's why all these men end up in trouble.
Like I said,
I said, a lot of truths have come to fruition here. What is your strategy? So let's say all of us here, we want love, we want to provide a structure for family. Ultimately, we want to sacrifice our lives in some respect for kids. Yeah. We're all hyper-competitive males who put full attention into it. You've done a lot in your life. I'm sure that when you have kids, you're going to be like, these are the next top G's, right? So what kind of advice can you give? Because a lot of what you're saying, albeit I agree with a lot and disagreeing with a little bit of it, what positive note can we give to people? Because if they do get the freedom of truth, how can we put that into a positive tone?
Yeah, absolutely. And the positive tone is completely to fall in love and have children and raise a stable family. That is the positive tone. I'm saying that it's a very dangerous battlefield now. When you were saying I feel sorry for the young people, so do I. It's hard now. Imagine being 15 with social medias and these kind of things. It's nuts. Imagine being a 19-year-old boy now. Every 19-year-old girl you're in love with is on Instagram dating 40-year-old billionaires. It's crazy. And I'm saying that a lot of the men who are the most heartbroken, who are most upset, people underestimate how important the relationship between a man and a woman is in the masculine life. I can tell you right now, you can give a man everything, but if he's arguing with his chick, he's fucked. His head's fucked. His head's fucked. It doesn't matter. It's so important. And I'm saying the best chance you have to negate these things is experience with women. You need a degree of experience as a man. Women innately want it. You see a woman who's unhappy with her boyfriend because he's simping or he's acting stupid or he just chases me around. Women will tell you themselves, he's boring, he's this. Yeah. It's true. You need to get to the point where you have enough abundance and you've been about the game long enough that you can say, that's a shit test, she's playing games, goodbye. You have to. And I'm saying the only way you can do that is with experience and abundance. So as a man, you need to do your thing, get to a point where you meet the one and settle down. But to sit and say that period where you do your thing isn't necessary, I completely disagree with that. I think you're going to end up wrecked if you don't do it.
That I understand. You're talking about in the Western side. For me, I think religion. You have if you're both God-fearing and you live by a certain system of life. If you truly both live by, for example, like Islam and respect God, the marriage is happy also, because you know there's boundaries. She cannot say certain thing. I can't say certain thing. I can't do a certain thing. You understand? For me, I'll agree with that. But as a Muslim, for me, it's all about the only reason I don't do things because it's haram. Otherwise, bro, if it wasn't haram to murder, I'd murder everyone.
Yeah.
It's God what pushes me in my plan. No one else can tell me what to do.
I think what Andrew's saying is, I think he says, okay, what you're trying to say is, ideally, yeah, if you fall in love, first love, you're both loyal, you're both happy, great. That's the ideal situation. I think the advice he's saying is the most realistic advice. But it is also like, can be taken wrong, because it's like, you know what I mean? But that's the most realistic thing that works.
Him more ammo for his impressions of me.
Yeah.
So put on the bald cap.
Yeah, exactly.
Bugatti. That's one risk. But the thing is, like, ultimately, a lot of people say shit about you, but I think the most important thing is, what is your motive? And that's a really hard question for people that hate you to respect, because you want better relationships with people. You want people to be happier. Ultimately, people don't realize that a lot of what you're saying is a cheat code to success, because you're not going to lie to someone who's getting into business, go, oh mate, it's easy. You know, it's going to be fucking, you set up your business, loads of money's going to come in, you get yourself a sports car. You're saying to people, it's going to be shit, this is going to happen, this is the realistic outcome of it.
Completely. And I'm telling you now that the men I know who have the best relationships with women now are men who had a bunch of women. But when someone watching this is 18 and we're sitting here saying, yeah, family, you know, find love, fall in love, then he meets some 18-year-old, falls in love with her. The chance of them making it, unfortunately, and it is unfortunate because I wish they would, is in the modern world with Instagram, with this, with everyone after his chick, when he's Joe Schmo and fucking I'm messaging her, it's over.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below on which of these tips resonated with you the most. Until next time, keep working on being the best you can be, and the right people will come to your life when you're ready.